You've probably heard it everywhere. Your thoughts create your reality. It's a mantra repeated endlessly in self-help books, manifestation videos, and spiritual teachings. But here's the uncomfortable truth. While that statement is technically true, it's also dangerously incomplete. Why? Because most people interpret it to mean that simply thinking positive thoughts or repeating affirmations will automatically change their lives. But if that were the whole story, everyone would be living their dream reality by now. The reason that phrase often feels empty is because it leaves out the real science behind how reality is actually formed. To understand manifestation at its deepest level, we need to move beyond wishful thinking and step into the realm of quantum physics, the science that shattered our old beliefs about reality. For centuries, we believed that the universe was a giant machine, predictable, detached, and unaffected by our internal states. Reality, we thought, was out there, something objective, separate from us. But quantum physics tells a very different story. At the subatomic level, particles don't behave like tiny billiard balls. Instead, they exist as waves of potential possibilities that only become actualized when observed. This is known as the observer effect, and it's one of the most groundbreaking discoveries in modern science. But here's what they don't often tell you. You are the observer. Your consciousness plays an active role in shaping the reality you experience. The very act of focusing your attention, holding a belief, or feeling a strong emotion sends a signal into what physicists call the quantum field, a field of infinite possibilities. This means that your reality is not created just by what you think, but by what you consistently feel, believe, and embody. The quantum field isn't listening to your words, it's responding to your frequency. So if you've been trying to manifest with surface-level affirmations, but deep down you're filled with doubt, fear, or scarcity, the field responds to that. It mirrors your dominant energetic state, not your conscious desires. This changes everything. You're not a passive observer. You're a powerful participant in the unfolding of your reality. But to create consciously, you have to go deeper than just thinking. You have to become vibrationally aligned with what you wish to experience. In the next part, we'll dive into how the field responds not to effort, but to coherence, the alignment between your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions, and why that alignment is the true secret behind real, lasting manifestation. Let's go deeper. Now that you know your consciousness plays an active role in shaping reality, the next question is, how does the quantum field actually respond to you? Here's the key insight. The universe doesn't respond to what you consciously want, it responds to what you consistently vibrate, the energy you broadcast through your thoughts, emotions, and subconscious beliefs. Most people think manifestation is about saying the right things or focusing on goals. But what they don't realize is that their inner world is full of conflicting signals. They say, I want abundance, but deep down they fear not having enough. They affirm, I am loved, while still carrying the wounds of unworthiness. This is the disconnect, the reason why manifestation feels random or doesn't work at all. Because the quantum field, which holds infinite possibilities, is not responding to your conscious desires. It's responding to the emotional and vibrational baseline that you live in day after day. Think of it like tuning a radio. You can't hear a jazz station if you're set to a heavy metal frequency. The same goes for manifestation. You can't align with the reality of love, wealth, or peace if your internal state is one of fear, lack, or doubt. Science backs this up. Your brain and heart emit measurable electromagnetic fields. These energy signals can be detected several feet away from your body, but beyond those measurable emissions lies a subtler influence. Your impact on the quantum field itself. This field doesn't speak in language. It speaks in frequency. That's why incoherence, when your thoughts say one thing but your emotions say another, leads to mixed results. You're sending static, not a clear signal. and the field always mirrors what's most consistent. So if your dominant emotional state is fear, frustration, or scarcity, even if you're using all the right manifestation techniques, you'll keep collapsing realities that reflect those lower frequencies. That's why affirmations without emotion fall flat. It's not what you say that matters, it's what you feel to be true. But here's the empowering part. Just like you've been unconsciously manifesting what you don't want, you can begin to consciously manifest what you do want. The shift begins with emotional and vibrational coherence. When your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and behaviors line up, when your inner world becomes congruent, the field responds with clarity and precision. This is not about trying harder. It's about becoming internally aligned. In the next part, we'll look at how to reprogram the subconscious mind, clear limiting patterns, and finally shift your vibrational state so you can manifest with power, consistency, and intention. Here's a truth that may surprise you. You are always manifesting. Not just when you're doing a visualization or writing in a journal. Manifestation isn't something you switch on with a ritual and off when you forget. It's a constant process. The only question is whether you're doing it consciously or by default. Most people are doing it unconsciously. They live in emotional patterns they don't realize are shaping their world. Patterns rooted in fear, scarcity, self-doubt, or shame. These patterns are not just emotional habits. They are energetic signals, consistently broadcast into the quantum field, and the field, being perfectly neutral, reflects those signals right back as life experiences. So if you feel stuck in a loop, repeating the same relationships, the same struggles, the same frustrations, it's not bad luck. It's a result of collapsing the same potentials over and over again, based on the same internal frequency. But here's the most empowering part. You can change the pattern. Your reality isn't locked in place. The quantum field holds infinite possible versions of your life, and you access those versions by changing your vibrational state. How do you do that? Not through force, not through trying harder, but by shifting from incoherence to alignment. That means bringing your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions into harmony. When those aspects of yourself are aligned, your energy becomes coherent, and coherence is what the quantum field responds to most powerfully. Take a moment to think about what coherence actually feels like. Peace, certainty, inner clarity. It's when you want something and believe it's possible. When you speak words that match your emotional truth. When your actions are consistent with your inner vision. That's when the field starts reflecting a new version of reality back to you. And it all starts with awareness. You can't shift what you don't first observe. You must become conscious of the thoughts you repeat, the emotions you carry, and the beliefs you inherited, many of which were never yours to begin with. This is the work. It's not glamorous. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's the difference between staying stuck in cycles and stepping into creation. Every thought, every emotion, every belief is a signal, a command, a frequency that tells the quantum field what to reflect. So ask yourself, what am I broadcasting today? What emotional patterns have I normalized? And, most importantly, am I manifesting on purpose? Or just reliving my past on repeat? In the next part, we'll dive into how to rewire your subconscious and embody the future you, so the field finally has a new signal to respond to. Now that we've uncovered how your unconscious patterns are shaping your reality, let's take the next step, understanding how to consciously shift your frequency and collapse a new version of your life. Here's the key. The quantum field isn't responding to your vision board, your affirmations, or your hopes. It's responding to your energetic baseline, what you feel to be true deep within. Let's say you're trying to manifest financial abundance. You visualize wealth. You repeat, I am rich, every morning. But beneath those surface-level intentions, you still carry fear around money, beliefs that it's hard to earn, or guilt about having more than others. That's the signal the field responds to, Not your words, but your emotional truth. Why? Because your emotions are energetic instructions. They don't just color your thoughts, they power them. When thought and feeling align, you create a coherent signal the quantum field can recognize. When they contradict each other, you send static. This is where the concept of coherence becomes essential. Most people live in energetic contradiction. They think about success, but feel like a failure. They want love, but feel unworthy of it. They wish for health while identifying with illness. This inner disharmony creates a mixed signal, and the result is inconsistent or disappointing manifestations. The quantum field is always listening, but not to what you say. It listens to what you consistently emit. So, how do you shift this? Start by aligning not just your thoughts, but your state of being. That means practicing the feelings of your desired reality before it arrives. If you're manifesting love, begin cultivating the emotions of connection, worthiness, and joy. Not someday, but right now. That emotional state becomes your new signal, and the field will begin to reorganize itself around that new frequency. Visualization is a powerful tool here, but only when it's embodied. Don't just see the life you want, feel it, live it internally. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. When you embody the future emotionally, your physiology shifts, and the field takes notice. Gratitude is another powerful frequency. When you feel grateful for something before it physically arrives, you signal to the field that it already exists in your timeline. This builds resonance with that possibility, and resonance is what collapses potential into form. Remember, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. In the next part, we'll go deeper into how to embody your future self, not through pretending, but by aligning with the version of you that already exists in the quantum field. Because the moment you start being that version now, your reality begins to reflect it. Let's get one thing clear. The version of you who already has the life you want, the love, the freedom, the success, already exists in the quantum field. Your job is not to create that version from scratch, but to tune into it through alignment. This isn't about pretending. It's not about faking confidence, forcing positivity, or acting like everything is fine when it's not. It's about becoming energetically congruent with the future you, the one who has already embodied the reality. You're calling in. That version of you doesn't just think differently. They feel differently. They respond differently. They make decisions from a place of trust, not survival. So the question becomes, how do you begin to live as that version now? It starts with emotional alignment. You must feel your way into the new reality before it shows up. If you're waiting for the external world to change before you feel different inside, you're giving your power away. But when you flip the order, when you embody the feelings of your desired future first, the quantum field begins to mirror that internal shift. Let's take a simple example. Say you want a loving relationship. Instead of focusing on what you lack, begin generating the feelings of love, connection, and appreciation right now. Not in reaction to a partner, but as your default state. When you do this consistently, you emit a coherent signal, one that the field responds to with aligned opportunities and relationships. This is how you collapse new potentials into your lived experience. You don't do it by effort. You do it by frequency. Here's another key point. Resistance will come up. Old beliefs will surface. You'll hear the voice that says, "This isn't possible for you," or "Nothing ever works out." That's not failure. That's feedback. It means your vibration is shifting, and the old programs are rising to be released. Instead of suppressing that resistance, observe it. Ask, where did this belief come from? Is it actually true? The more you gently dismantle these unconscious scripts, the more space you create for new possibilities to take root. This work isn't about perfection. You don't need to stay in high vibration 24/7. What matters is your dominant frequency, the energetic baseline you return to most often. and that's within your power to shift. Through practices like meditation, visualization, gratitude, embodiment, and self-awareness, you begin to stabilize a new internal reality. And once that stabilizes, the external must follow. You are not chasing your future. You are matching it. You are not calling something in from afar. You are collapsing it into now by becoming the version of you who already lives it. In the next section, we'll explore how to make this alignment a lifestyle, so you stop manifesting randomly and start creating from consistency and power. By now, you understand that manifestation isn't something you occasionally do. It's something that's happening all the time. You're constantly broadcasting signals into the quantum field, whether you're aware of it or not. And those signals are shaping the reality you experience. The mistake most people make is treating manifestation like a one-time event. They visualize once, repeat some affirmations for a week, and then get discouraged when nothing happens. But manifestation isn't a hack. It's not a shortcut. It's a lifestyle, a daily alignment between your inner world and the life you want to live. That lifestyle begins with awareness. You have to get honest with yourself about your dominant emotional patterns, recurring thoughts, and deeply held beliefs. Are you thinking abundance, but feeling lack? Are you asking for love, but vibrating loneliness? The field responds to your most consistent frequency, not your passing hopes. Once you're aware of those patterns, the next step is to shift them gently, not through force, but through presence and repetition. This is where the science of neuroplasticity comes in. When you repeatedly focus on a new emotional state, like gratitude, joy, or confidence, you begin rewiring your brain. Your nervous system learns to make that state your new baseline. And the more consistent your signal becomes, the more predictable your results get. What once felt like coincidence now becomes pattern. What once seemed out of reach starts unfolding naturally. This isn't magic. It's vibrational alignment. Let's be clear, you don't have to be perfect. You don't need to walk around in a high-frequency bubble every second of the day. What matters most is your return point, where you emotionally land when the distractions settle. That's your energetic set point, and it's what the quantum field mirrors back to you again and again. So how do you raise that set point? Through daily practices that ground you in your desired identity. Visualization, yes, but not just seeing. Feeling, meditation, to silence the noise and tune into your own frequency. Journaling, to identify the stories you're still telling yourself. Gratitude, to embody the vibration of already having what you desire. And most of all, embodiment, showing up in the world as if you're already that version of you. Because in the quantum field, that version already exists. The future isn't something you're chasing, it's something you're choosing. Moment by moment, through who you decide to be. So, if you're asking, how do I manifest my dream life? The real answer is, become the person who already lives it. Not someday, not when things finally change, but right now, in your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. In the final part, we'll bring everything together and show you what it means to fully step into the role of a conscious creator. This is where everything comes together. By now, you've seen that manifestation isn't a mysterious power reserved for the few. It's not a special skill or a rare gift. It's a natural function of your consciousness, a process you're participating in right now, whether you realize it or not. Your external world isn't separate from you. It's a mirror, a direct reflection of your dominant thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. And the quantum field isn't deciding what you deserve. It's simply responding to your signal with perfect precision. Most people live unconsciously, unaware that they're collapsing the same version of reality over and over again. They wonder why they keep experiencing scarcity, heartbreak, or struggle. But the truth is, they're not being punished. They're just stuck in a vibrational feedback loop, reliving the past through unexamined beliefs and emotional patterns. But that cycle breaks the moment you decide to become the observer, the one who can shift focus, change state, and choose a different version of reality. To be a conscious creator means to stop waiting for circumstances to change and start changing yourself, not by force, not by perfection, but through alignment, the ongoing, intentional alignment of who you are with what you desire. You don't have to wait for the right time, the right relationship, or the perfect opportunity. The quantum field doesn't work on linear time. It responds to now, to the frequency you're holding in this exact moment. So the question becomes, who are you choosing to be right now? What thoughts are you energizing? What emotions are you practicing? What version of yourself are you embodying, not someday, but today? When you choose gratitude over doubt, clarity over confusion, and trust over fear, your frequency shifts. And the moment your frequency shifts, the field begins to rearrange in response. You'll start to notice synchronicities. People and opportunities that match your energy will begin showing up. Reality itself becomes responsive, not because you forced it, but because you became a match for what you were calling in. And here's the beauty. You don't have to be perfect to see change. You just need consistency. You need to keep returning to your center, realigning when you drift, and holding your vision, even when the old reality tries to pull you back. Because manifestation isn't about chasing something outside of you. It's about remembering that everything you desire already exists as a possibility. And your role is to align, not to beg, not to wait, but to become. So ask yourself right now, what version of reality am I ready to collapse into form? What version of me is already living that life? And most importantly, am I willing to become that version starting today? You are not here to chase reality. You are here to create it. Let's end with the most important truth of all. Manifestation never stops. You're not turning it on when you visualize and off when you get distracted. You are always manifesting with every thought, every emotion, and every belief you carry throughout your day. The question is, are you doing it consciously, or are you creating by default? Most people are creating by default. They wake up and immediately replay the same thoughts from yesterday. They react to their environment, recycle old emotions, and unconsciously reinforce the same inner patterns over and over. And then they wonder why nothing changes. But the quantum field doesn't judge, it doesn't punish, it doesn't delay, it reflects, instantly, precisely, neutrally. It mirrors back the frequency you live in, not just occasionally, but consistently. If your dominant state is one of fear, doubt, or lack, the field reflects that back as closed doors, frustrating, delays, or repeated struggles. But if your dominant state is one of trust, clarity, and alignment, the field responds with synchronicity, flow, and expansion. The key isn't to force a perfect state. The key is to cultivate awareness, because with awareness, everything becomes a choice. You begin to notice the thoughts that pull you into the past. You catch the emotions that no longer belong to your future. And in that moment of awareness, you reclaim your power to shift, to tune into a new frequency, one that aligns with your desired reality. This is what it means to live as a conscious creator. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop asking the universe to deliver your dream and start becoming the version of you who naturally lives it. And the moment you do, the moment your energy changes, the field shifts with you. Opportunities begin to appear. People show up. Ideas flow. Not because you forced it, but because you finally became a vibrational match. Remember, the future you desire already exists in the field as a potential. It's not far away. It's not behind a wall. It's just waiting for you to collapse it into form by aligning your energy with it. And that alignment, it doesn't happen by accident. It happens by choice, by practice, by embodiment. So let this be your reminder. You don't need more affirmations. You don't need to wait for a sign. You don't need to be better or more healed. You just need to start broadcasting the frequency of the life you actually want. Not from a place of lack, but from a place of knowing it's already yours. Right now, in this moment, you are the observer. You are the creator. And the field is already listening. You've learned that the quantum field is always listening, always reflecting your inner world with unwavering precision. So now the question becomes, how do you make alignment your way of life? The answer is simple, but not always easy. Do the inner work, and let the field do the rest. Manifestation isn't about forcing outcomes or obsessively controlling every detail of your future. It's about becoming so internally aligned that external change becomes inevitable. The field doesn't respond to hustle. It responds to coherence, when your thoughts, feelings, and actions are in harmony. So instead of asking, what should I do? Start asking, who am I being? Because who you are, your energetic identity, is what creates. You don't manifest what you wish for. You manifest what your nervous system can handle. You manifest what your subconscious believes is safe. And you manifest what your emotional body is calibrated to receive. This is why some people can repeat affirmations for months and see no change. It's not because manifestation doesn't work. It's because the internal state hasn't shifted. The old self is still in charge. The old vibration is still running the show. To break free, you must begin to embody a new version of yourself. One aligned with the life you're calling in. An embodiment doesn't mean pretending. It means making choices from your future self's perspective. Ask, how would the version of me who already has this reality think? What would they believe? What would they feel on a daily basis? What decisions would they make, even in small moments? And then, live into those answers. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to feel high vibe 24/7. You just need to become consistent. Consistency stabilizes your frequency, and the more stable your vibration, the clearer your signal becomes. And the clearer your signal, the faster the quantum field responds. This is why alignment isn't something you do once. It's a daily return, a lifestyle of tuning in, checking in, and choosing again. The world may still reflect your old patterns for a while, but keep aligning, keep embodying, keep trusting, because when your inner world changes, the outer world must follow. That's not theory. That's how reality works, at the quantum level. So, if you're wondering, how do I finally manifest the life I've been dreaming of? This is the answer. Become the version of you who already lives it. And then let the field handle the details. Because once your vibration aligns with the reality you desire, the field has no choice but to bring it into form. And now, we've arrived at the heart of it all. You are not just a passive observer of life. You are the one shaping it, moment by moment, through the energy you hold, the thoughts you repeat, and the emotions you embody. The quantum field doesn't discriminate. It doesn't choose sides. It reflects you with complete neutrality and perfect precision. The truth is, you've been manifesting all along, every day, every hour. Whether through fear or faith, clarity or confusion, you've been sending signals into the field. The only difference now is that you're starting to become aware of it, and awareness is where your power begins. You're no longer here to repeat the past. You're here to collapse new potentials into form, not by chasing the future, but by aligning with it now. That future version of you, the one who feels free, fulfilled, and at peace. That version already exists in the quantum field, and the way to reach it is to become it, not someday. Not when it's convenient, but now, in this moment, with the tools you already have, your attention, your energy, your choice. This is the shift, from victim to creator, from hoping to remembering. So, ask yourself, what are you ready to let go of? What are you finally ready to believe about yourself? And what version of you are you willing to step into, not just in thought, but in being? Because manifestation isn't about getting more. It's about becoming more of who you truly are. And once you do that, the field will respond, reality will shift, and your life will begin to reflect the truth you finally remembered. You were never here to chase reality. You were always here to create it.